Okay.
Hello, you guys are so early.
Oh, you see, you're getting chats. I'm not.
You're not getting chats.
I don't see anything on mine.
Hello, Georgia and Highlander.
We figured it out.
Sure. Hello. Thank you for joining us this evening. I hope everyone's doing good. I don't know where everyone's from, but right now we're in Merced, California, and the weather is getting pretty hot. Like 75 feels so hot. I cannot wait to go to Minnesota. I've been eyeballing their weather. Like, I wish.
I know.
I'm melting.
They have snow apparently in like a week, which I think is crazy. It's April.
I know that's a bit strange. It's a little
They can't hear
different.
us.
They can't hear us?
You can't hear us at all?
Oh. Mic is on. Oh.
I can hear.
Oh.
I can hear.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I like just tapped my mic. Sorry if I blew your guys' ears. Juliana, maybe make sure your volume's up. I'm so happy you're here.
I know. I haven't seen Juliana in a while.
I know.
Let me see. We got North Dakota here.
Ooh.
So how are you guys doing today? Hopefully it's not as hot where you are. We had to turn the AC on.
I know.
And we have gotten some
requests for the tarot. So if you guys are interested in that, please just email us. And everything is confidential. We don't use names or anything. We're just going to give you a number. We're going to email you back a number, and then that way you know which one you are when we're doing the reading.
But I'm only doing 4, so if there's more than 4, I already have 2. So I have about 2 more slots that I can accept. If there's more than that, I will turn it into a lottery-based system. But like I said in my post, if you guys want a private reading, feel free to check out soulandselfcollective.com and then just book your one-on-one session.
Just responding to Juliana.
Okay, yeah, you go. Yes, so today's live, Scott is going to be chatting away about his journey. That's right, Junior.
Yeah. When you're doing your tarot. So when she's doing the reading, I'll be explaining a little bit about my journey, what I've been going through. What are you guys interested in, like, hearing about? Can't. Oh, okay. I thought he was saying can't hear you. I was like, no.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. What are you guys interested in knowing about my journey or hearing about? Because I have some things I do want to talk about, but I might not even be thinking about what you're interested in. So if you just let me know, I will definitely try to add that in there. Okay. Or answer any questions you might have.
May I use your phone?
Yeah. You're definitely not too late. We still have 2 more slots open for anyone who emails us.
I think this is what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm going to give it until 6:30, and then I'll do a hard stop from there and see who placed the inquiry. And then if it's 4, then I'll just pick this one. And then if it's more, then I'll do a lottery system. But I'll start the reading after 6:30.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you? I really want to know what you wanted to share.
Oh, so the first thing I was going to share was about the Reiki session. that I had
with GJ.
with GJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was interesting to say the least. So we've done I've done a virtual one with GJ before and a couple of other people, and I can't say I ever really felt anything. It was just more peaceful, and then what they saw afterward resonated. But that's why when GJ was here and they were like, "Oh, I forgot who asked first, but someone asked if she can do the sessions." Then we ended up getting an area to where we can do sessions, like Reiki sessions, and I was like, "Well, I'm gonna try it because it's in person to see if there's any difference on it."
Mhm.
And I will definitely say I felt more I felt more things and I saw more things when it was in person. So the things that really popped up to me was when she was working on my what was it called? The head.
Uh-huh.
What's the head chakra?
Yeah, your crown.
Crown chakra.
Mhm.
Yeah, the crown chakra. I had this intense headache feeling, and I felt like I couldn't breathe at first. I was just sitting there, I was breathing perfectly fine before, but when she was up there, I was just like, I can't breathe. And it felt like I was suffocating. And I was like, maybe I just need to focus on breathing. So I was doing that. And then I kept seeing deer. So I don't know why I was seeing deer or where there were deer because she didn't say anything about deer when she was talking. But I kept seeing deer. And then when she went to my, what's the middle?
I don't know.
When
The chest area.
When she went to this area, it was
Is it like your heart chakra?
maybe, I don't know, something here. I'm still learning that. But when we got there, I felt this intense heat, and I was like, that's weird because my head didn't burn, my legs didn't burn, but my body was it felt like how to describe it? You know when you're sitting on a heated seat and it's turned full blast and you just feel it radiating that heat on your back and you're starting to warm up. That's what it felt like, and I was like, that's a weird sensation because it was just a leather couch that was cold, so I don't know why it was burning. And then those were what I felt during the session. Afterwards is when she started talking about what she went through and what she saw. And it started with when she was in my crown chakra, she was saying that I had a lot of the way she said it was ink. So there was a lot of ink on my body. She said it was covered, and every time she tried to get rid of it, it just reappeared. So she was really struggling with removing the ink from I guess my body and world. So I thought that was very fascinating because we're in that transition phase where we're moving to Minnesota, so I can see where that ink might have been coming from. So I thought that was fascinating. And then when she was finally able to remove it, she moved on. That's when she moved on to my chest. And when she got there, she said that there was a lot of things that were there that weren't supposed to be there. So she pretty much said that she had to set it on fire, which I'm assuming that's where the heat was feeling from. And then I was like, that's interesting because I've never felt that sensation before. So that was a very interesting sensation that I didn't know how to explain, but there was a reason for it. So after she was done burning through everything that she was burning through, I forgot something she said, but she was cleansing it. And then she said that she saw myself walking with my guide, and she was describing what we were wearing, um, how we were walking, with the purpose of all that. And I thought that was very interesting, just her being able to see it. And then she said she saw a big dragon eye, and I was like, wow, that's fascinating because I know that my higher self is a dragon. So when she was talking about that, I've never got any other descriptions about him, so to say, other than everyone keeps seeing this big eye. So it was interesting having someone that's not a shaman, because GJ is not a shaman, actually be able to reach out and see him. Because when I sent Anna to go check on him, she got locked out the door and she wasn't welcomed in, so she wasn't able to see him. But I thought it was very fascinating. The whole experience. They're usually about an hour long, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, and it goes by really quick. I thought I was just gonna fall asleep like I did in the first one, but it wasn't. There was definitely more activity, and I felt more opposite. Did you? You had a Reiki session too. How was
Yeah.
your experience?
I did have a Reiki session, but just for context, GJ is Cassie's younger sister who also does Reiki. And I'm gonna ask her if it's okay for us to put like her information down in the description box later when the live ends. But her Reiki session was really good. Like what Scott was saying, when we have done virtual, it's a lot different from in person. I felt that heat sensation Scott was talking about because that room was frigid. But then when she was working on the crown chakra and whatnot, I could feel the heat. And then I later asked her, like, yeah, I felt the sensation. She was like, yeah, I set you on fire. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then, yeah, I had a really profound experience just like Scott. And I slept like a baby. And I know that I am going through a lot of things, just, transitioning, that fun stuff. But yeah, to me, I had a really healing, relaxing time. Because usually when I get Reiki done, it kind of feels like a Ning session, like going in trance and I'm traveling and whatnot. It's almost like daydreaming. But then this time I was like kind of seeing like images and visions. And then after that, lights up for me. And then GJ like gently tapped like, okay, it's done. And then we debriefed just like how Scott went through with his debrief. And yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely fascinating. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Georgia wants to know where you get your jewelry.
My jewelry? Oh my god, let me tell you. Okay, I'm getting way too excited. So where I get my jewelry.
They're saying they're still
Okay.
low on sound.
They're still low on sound?
Even Vivian's saying it's hard to hear too.
Dang.
Is it for everybody? Is everyone struggling? I don't know how to turn it up. We never had this problem.
I know. Shoot. Let's all do a mic check.
I mean,
1
there's
second.
a plus on it. Maybe I hit the plus.
The plus?
Not for. See, some people are fine and some people aren't.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put it closer. Is that better, Juliana? Sorry, I went through their ears.
I know. Sorry.
Because if it is, I can just try and talk louder.
Okay,
I do
let me
talk
tell
low,
you guys,
so.
I hate editing my videos with Scott because Scott, he usually has a really loud voice, but then for some reason when we're making content, when he's really into something, he starts to speak a little soft like this and monotone, and I absolutely hate it because the mic doesn't pick it up, and I have to like section his area off and then max the volume just so that we can make out what he's saying.
It happens. Maybe it's just me. Maybe that's the struggle is just
Well, I
the
don't know.
location
Can
of the
you-
mic. I mean, I could try it. Is that better? Should I just hold it like this?
It's you.
All right, I'll just hold it like this.
You no mumble. No mumble. I'm not here to edit and make it louder for you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'll try and do this. That's fine. But yeah, back to
What?
that was the first question was where are you getting all your jewelry from?
Okay. So this one, it's a moonstone, and I love it because like look at that shine, and there's like it looks almost like a rainbow in the center. I got that one from my local metaphysical store. It's called Moonchild in Merced. love that place. Their pricing is really nice. But then the rest of like my jewelry, I get it on TikTok Live, y'all. I have so much fun on TikTok Live. It keeps me company, and I get to see like a lot of pretty things, and it's so easy to buy. And yeah, I had to uninstall it because I should be saving money, because we're moving to Minnesota. And it's just more stuff that I have to drag with me. And so, yeah. But let me tell you, on that road trip, on our pilgrimage to Minnesota, I'm reinstalling TikTok Live. And that's going to keep me company once when we go past, when we're in the desert. Oh man, I hope there's connection.
I hope
No, I hope there's connection.
not. Okay, so just I sent the email down. Just email that with your reading what you have a question about. You don't have to put any information. And when we start, I'll email you back a number. That way, when we're talking, we're just going to say this reading is for number 4, and you'll know that that one's for you, so you can know what the question is. Because we're not going to say what the questions are. We're not going to say who the people are.
Mhm.
That way, everyone can keep confidential, and you get the reading that you want to have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and then for those of you just joining, I'm gonna do a hard stop at 6:30.
Yeah.
And then I'll look at the emails then and do the readings.
Okay. Miss Elving wants to know if there are any movies that kind of show your journey experiences. Like, do you have any movies in mind that kind of compare to what you're going through?
Yes. Okay. This one's not a movie, but it's a game. It's a video game called Spiritfarer, and I think I spoke about it in past videos. But it's about this girl who takes spirits who are on the cusp of passing, I think, in the waking life or something like that. And then their spirit kind of wanders into this dimension, and you, the main character, are to help them move on so that they can go through the other door, which is AKA pass. And a lot of the things that you do in there reminds me of the spirit world. A lot, actually. Let's see what else.
You were pretty addicted to that. You were pretty addicted to that game for a while.
It was nice because my spirit guides, we love that. When I'm not watching Chassie's video, I'm playing that game, and that helps me stay really calm.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
But are there any movies?
I'll get back to you on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question is from me. What differences have you noticed since you started your journey? Also, what's one thing you found that helped you connect more with your guides? I will say connecting with my guides was letting go of the idea that they're going to talk to me the same way I'm talking to everybody else. And having that expectation that they're going to give me precise words and show me exactly what I want to see or hear, when in reality, it's a lot of feelings and it's a lot of images that get pushed, or like thoughts, right? And then you start to realize you're like, there's no way I would have thought about that or thought of that, and I've never thought of that before. And it's just accepting that that's how they're communicating with me, and not trying to fight it or try to question it or try to. Because I can come up with 1,000 reasons why it could not be that, but at the end of the day, it's up to the person that's going through that journey if they want to accept it or not. So we can question it all day. I just got questioned it for a long time. And I'll say, once I stopped questioning and started to just accept it, things started to ramp up. I started to see more. I started to feel more. I started to get communication more clearly, like with my guides, to a point where I kind of like I know what they're talking about. So when like when she's upset at me. I know why she's upset at me, and she'll give me very descriptive images on why she's upset at me, and you're just like, oh, probably shouldn't have done that. I'll try to do better next time.
Oh. Do you want to share when you upset your guides?
Sure. Yeah. So the one time that was very prevalent was I didn't have. She really likes when I wear my beads or the bracelets, the stones. And this time I didn't wear them, and we were in a place that was very unclean, so to say. There was lots of it felt very dirty with spirits. It felt like a very unclean area, and I was just trying to get out of it, and you could just I just sensed that it just wasn't a comfortable place, and I needed to leave there. And once I finally got out, I was finally at home, and I was meditating. And when I was meditating, I got an image of my main guide, and she was like bloody, like just looked like she just came out of battle, blood everywhere. She looked not good. And I was like, whoa, like why did this happen? And then she flashed me an image of my beads. And I was like, okay. And then she showed me an image of her not being damaged anymore. And I was like, you have to be so dramatic when you show it to me. But that was me. I'm assuming that was not assuming that was her telling me that I need to make sure I wear my beads so I have more protection than just what she's able to provide for me. Okay, let's see.
But I love that you're so receptive of that. Open to receiving that message. And you didn't dismiss it.
Yeah, and I'll say that's something that's just started probably within the last 3 months. I've been more open and just kind of accepting the way they want to communicate.
Yeah.
So it's definitely wrapped up. The dreams have gotten more detailed, and I'm starting to realize in the middle of them, like, you're trying to teach me about patience. Okay, got you. Track.
Yep.
Let's see. Okay, next one's for me. Do you have to cleanse and filter out your guides, or did you already do that? So this one, I'm still waiting to learn. As of right now, I know I have more than 2 guides. I don't know who they are, what they are, because I haven't been presented with them. The only 2 guides that I know of right now are my main guide and the wolf that I talked about last time. And those are the only ones that have popped up enough to where I even know of them and can communicate with them. Everyone else is just kind of in the background, and everyone says I have a lot, but I don't know about them. When it comes to cleansing them, I probably won't know much about that until I actually start to build my little platform and go into the trances and stuff like that. But until now, it's just what I already have. Okay, this is maybe a little loud. Try to catch up. They're saying when I'm holding it closer, it's actually softer. Hopefully not.
Maybe if you clip it.
I tried clipping it here. I know it's too low, and then here it flops.
Oh.
So we'll just go with it.
Do you want me to clip it right here?
No, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Yeah. Okay. How about you for cleansing your guides, and how do you know which guides you keep and which ones you don't?
So back when my shrine was still up and when I went and gathered guides, try to see what I can share. When I receive them, they go through their own little mini trials to see if they're fit or strong enough to go with me. And let's just say only the strongest survives. So yeah. And then after, of course, I cleanse them.
That's true. Okay, so Vivian was asking listening to Scott's experience with Reiki, it sounds like it can cleanse and filter the connection with guides. Would you say that's the case?
You'd probably be able to.
Why don't you take a stab at it?
Take a stab
Yeah.
at it.
Take a stab. And then I'll respond.
Okay. If I was to take a stab at this, I would say I don't believe that Reiki is going to cleanse or filter your connection with your guides. I do believe that they can push energy into your crown chakra or your third eye and open it to where you might get more communication. But at the same time, if you're getting the communication but you don't understand the ways that they're trying to give it to you, it's still not going to make any sense. So I don't think that directly they can connect you to your guides in that way.
See,
How about you?
see, you know things, babe. You know, and I agree with Scott. Reiki does not connect you to your guides like that, but it can cleanse, any blockage that you might have, and it might make it cleaner. Having a cleaner slate to receive messages that your guides or your spirits have for you.
And to be honest, Vivian, I don't know. Do you know any Reiki people in and around the Bay Area?
No.
I don't either. All of ours have been in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So,
But the virtual, I can hear Molly like making fun of me saying so. The virtual Reiki sessions, I found them to be just as effective. And I want to let you guys know, each Reiki practitioners are very different and very good at what their niche are.
question for Liz. Do you ever feel a stranger's energy?
Yeah.
The mic went farther away from me.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Do you have any things you can add? Like what do you feel? When people are like by or around.
It's a combination, right? Because I get a read of like their physical behavior that I interpret as their body language through like a bit of psychology, and then I also read like their energy as well. Yeah.
Okay. Any specific methods for meditating that helps you? For me, meditation for me has been a ever evolving experience, I would say. Because at first I started off with the typical guided meditations, which did kind of work, and then I went to the ones where it was just music and I laid down on a bed, like lay down on the couch, and that was not honestly. I just went to sleep and didn't really get much out of those. When I started meditating with water, like a bowl of water, I tend to feel and started to get more from it. But my guys really want me to be meditating like out in nature. That's where I feel like the connection is the strongest whenever I'm driving through either foresty areas or any areas like that. They really want me to stop and like go touch grass and sit on a rock and like just meditate and let go there. I haven't done as much as I should have been doing it, so they've tolerated me doing it at home. But I can definitely feel the push for getting out into nature more and using that in my meditation. But I honestly feel like it's for the person. Try different things. Like if one way doesn't work, that doesn't mean always aren't going to work. So try something else. Maybe you need to go out in nature. Maybe your guides want you to listen to a certain type of music or a certain type of sound or resonance. How about? Oh, you tap your.
Yeah. Hit the heart 6-3. But did you have a question?
I was just gonna ask you, like, how was your meditation journey before you started? Like, what worked and what didn't work for you?
Meditation, when I first started my meditation journey, I think I concentrated a little bit too hard, trying to keep my mind empty and then trying to like think positive, happy thoughts and letting go of thoughts that comes to me. To me, you're not supposed to like try to like don't bother me thoughts. I'm trying to not think. But when you're meditating, you have to acknowledge those images or those thoughts that come and then just see it go like a subway. And then
That's pretty cool.
what?
No, it was just the way you were explaining.
Oh yeah. But as I'm now along my journey, the meditation, they literally feel like it's like a daydream where I'm present here. I know what is happening around me, but I'm also like traveling also.
Makes sense. Ooh, Juliana says that last time she was in your life, one of your female guides came to her and gave her healing / cleansing. It was a huge boost and was cleaning out for hours more. Thank you. So that's really cool. Okay, I finally made it to the bottom. I'll talk about it and not pull it away from my mouth. Okay, now give us a sec. As Liz is going through all the people that sent in requests, yeah, in the meantime, like what have you guys tried to use to meditate? Because I feel like there's so many different ways that you can meditate, and some like I never thought of going out in nature and sitting on a rock, or like they really want me to walk around with my bare feet in the dirt. I don't know how I feel about that because I don't like walking around with bare feet. So that's going to be definitely a part for me that I'm gonna have to get over and deal with that. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, I will say the guided meditation, like it worked once, and it was someone that was supposed to take me to just meet my guides, and that was the first time that I saw like a figure of my main guide, and it was interesting. It pissed me off because it ended really fast, and I was just like, "Oh, that was it." Okay. See, that's cool. The Buddhist mantras bring you to the state of calm. That's really awesome. Like when you're in that state of calmness, like what are you feeling? Like when you meditate, what are you looking into, or what are you trying to understand? And if you want to share, you want to share. Ooh, Juliana, what's active meditation to you? Explain more. This is that's all over the screen. That's going great, to be honest with you. That's how I know that I'm going in the right direction is by my main guide definitely has been showing me a lot of the stuff that she wants from me, like building the platform. Also, you probably know known as the high chair. Um, so I'm gonna be when we're out in Minnesota, we have finally get our house with land. I'm gonna be building that prior to that, she's been showing me a lot of. No, you're good. Take your time. But she's been showing me a lot of stuff that she wants on the altar that I'm supposed to have, which is very big compared to like what Liz is having. But I don't have shelves, like tiered shelves. This is one table. And I don't know where I'm gonna get a lot of this stuff because I'm supposed to have types of animal skulls on there. So I'm gonna be trying to figure that out. And also, I'm supposed to have when I go into my trance, I'm supposed to have this animal fur like pelt cape thing that goes over me, and that's gonna be another interesting part where I'm gonna have to try and find where to even go about buying some of those. I'm gonna have to go search in Alaska, or maybe there'll be some in Minnesota. I'm not sure. I haven't gotten there yet, but it's gonna be an adventure looking for all the things that she's been requesting. So, and that's the other thing that, like, when communicating with your guides, that's what I mean. Like, I never would have built a platform in my backyard to like go and sit in the middle of and trance with this big flowing animal pelt. So that's just those types of things are like validation for me, where it's like, there's no way I would have gone that route, but apparently that's the route I'm going now. Yeah, I will say to want to be a Highlander, I will say that my mind is really busy too. I definitely have ADHD, and I will say it makes meditating extremely difficult and not as long as I would like it to go, because I'll be in the middle of it and all of a sudden I start thinking about random things, and I'm like, stop. We need to focus on what we're here for. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it definitely doesn't. So I know the struggle. Oh, the joys of just quieting the mind for a few minutes is a challenge in and of itself. Yeah. While Liz is doing that, I saw that you said that looks like a Viking. I will say that I do have strong similarities to the Vikings. Especially when it comes to the pelts and a lot of the objects that my main guide has been requesting of me. And yeah, it'd be cool trying to explore that part.
What?
Oh no, I'm trying to find out where I was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're cool. Okay, so the meditation too is more like visualization. It's like a genre-ish kind of thing, but I usually go into the part of my body where I'm feeling it and enter that way until. That's pretty cool. It's amazing that you have that ability to figure out which part of your body that it's in. It really reminds me of there's a modality in therapy that we use for trauma, to help people with trauma and trauma-based issues. It's called parts work, which is identifying where in your body that trauma is taking hold and how we can help soothe that part of you and allow it to not take over whenever certain circumstances pop up. So that's really cool that you're able to do that on your own. I have. Usually when I do meditate, you asked if I tried meditating with the lights off. I will say with the lights off, it does help. I tend to see more when the lights are off. And it just feels right. Just like when I do go into nature, I found myself drawn to go at night. Like before we moved out to Merced when we were living in Roseville, we had a nature path that kind of snake through, and I would love walking through that at night, especially under the full moon. It just felt very freeing, and that was the first time that I actually saw my wolf because he was running all over in front of me, all over the path, and like through the weeds and grasses and all of that. So that was really cool, and it made me definitely want to go out and do that more. Ooh, that's cool. When you figure out, or when you learn that, let me know what it looks like. It sounds really cool. Yeah, relaxation meditations put me to sleep. Okay, so you have heard of parts. Yeah, it's very helpful. And you're doing it on your own, so that's really cool. Ooh, you've never meditated before. Can you give some advice? When it comes to me giving advice for meditation, again, to each person's their own. What helped me the most is finding drums. For me, drums is what worked and what put me into a different trance. I found this type of Viking drum, which is very low resonance, and it pretty much kept the same theme for over an hour. So it didn't change, which really helped me just be able to concentrate. I don't know. And that's when I tried to logically understand why maybe the drums were distracting my ADHD or allowing me to focus on something that allowed me to go into a trance. But each person is completely different. I would say just find what works for you and keep trying. Because once you find it, really it's really cool. It's a very interesting experience, and it's freeing once you, as everyone says, you let go. It's very freeing. Um, to Miss Elving, for food, the only food that I just dislike has always been like crabs, shellfish. I really don't like seafood in general, but that was prior to me raising as well. This has been something I've never really been into. So I can't think of anything that has been directly impacted because of my journey. Nothing like what Liz has gone through with her shamanic journey. I haven't experienced any of that yet. I don't know if it's going to change once I start actively practicing instead of um, like my beforehand, because I haven't really been able to practice or do anything that my guys want me to do. It's just been more of a learning experience so far. So maybe when I start, it might change. Yeah, I mean that definitely happens when you do get overwhelmed. Find a place where you can regulate yourself and bring yourself down, because that is very important. It's very hard for people to do as well. The moon does resonate with me. Like whenever it's a full moon, I just tend to want to be outside more. And I've always been drawn to the moon. I don't know why, but something about it definitely draws my attention. Ooh, that's another good question. Like, do I find myself near a body of water or in trees or at the top of mountains? Um, I will say all of the above. I do see myself being around water. I use water for a lot of things. I also find myself really wanting to be around dense trees, which usually come from the mountains. So moving to Minnesota will be interesting because they don't have the like Yosemite type mountains or the mountains that I'm used to in California, but they do have a lot of trees in the north, which is where we're thinking of moving eventually, is more on the northern side of Minneapolis. Okay, yeah. When you get some, email me some pictures of them. That sounds really cool. Okay, and then I like the crystal singing bowls to help me calm down. I don't really meditate and should. I'm not sure why I stopped. I don't think I noticed I had stopped until I was thinking about it now. Ooh, crystal singing bowls. Liz is really interested in crystal singing bowls. Every time we go to those stores, she's always over there
Yeah.
trying to make them sing, which is pretty cool. And I feel the same. If it was up to my guys, I'd probably meditate daily or, as much as possible. But I don't. And that's okay. I feel like meditation is, it's like one of those things where you want to do it more, but you just can't, So do it when you're able to. And if you do find value in it, try and increase it. Try and give yourself some sort of plan or direction for wanting to do it more. Because I'm the same way. I'll be like, yeah, I want to do this, and then 2 days in, I'm like, oh, I forgot. The she that I'm referring to is my main guide, and she's the one that has been teaching me. She come a little bit about her, I guess. She came from my higher self's mom, which I thought was really cool. So she's not directly tied to me, but she was sent down here to help me in what I'm supposed to be doing here. But yeah, she came from my higher self's mom's side, and she's been the one that's been showing me and teaching me the ways, so to say. So I thought that was pretty cool that I'm being able to learn from her while trying to do some research myself. Have I had any dreams or visions in different writings? I have not. That'd be cool. I'm open. If they hear me, bring it on. I haven't seen anything else yet though, but that would be pretty cool if they showed it to me. From what I've gained from Liz and talking with all the other shamans, I've noticed that your guides tend to show up in ways that you're going to understand. So when you have dreams, they're not going to show up as something you're not going to trust. They're going to show up as people that you trust, and how you decipher that is up to you. So I don't think they would show me something that I wouldn't understand unless they're going to show me how to understand it. But that's just me guessing. Are you ready?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. What else do you do to connect with your guides? So besides meditation, what else do you do to connect with your guides? So far, it's been directly talking to them. There'll be times where I'm just sitting there and I'll just try and have a conversation, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I just have that mentality that where it's like, maybe if I keep doing this, it'll become more fluid, right? Maybe it'll happen more often. So that's what I've been doing. So like when I'm driving or if I'm laying there thinking and I'm not doing anything, I'll just start up a conversation, ask them, do normal human things. What's your day like? Like, what are you up to? Do you have any information that you want to give me? Um, why did you give me that dream last night? Stuff like that, just to see what happens. Sometimes I get information, sometimes I'm just looking like the crazy guy sitting there talking to himself, but I accept where I am.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, so this is for number 2. And number 2 just wanted a gem reading. And I drew 3 cards. So the first card I drew was the 4 of Swords. And waiting for. Okay, cool. Let's focus. So, like I told you guys.
It's trying to focus.
Oh no. Okay, how about what if you hold it?
Okay, hold on. Delay.
I know. That's okay. I'll just hold it.
There. Covering the thing.
That looks really strenuous. Okay, I'll okay. Just let me know. I forget I have a screen on this side too.
There you go. Look at you.
Okay, cool. So I always wince whenever the swords card come out, but then so for this general reading for number 2, this card is speaking about rest, withdrawal, and healing. So most likely what you need is a space to recover mentally or emotionally. Maybe a pause from the stress or conflict or overwhelm that you're experiencing. And then you need time to process that which is draining you. This isn't avoidance, it's just you gotta recharge your battery. That's all. And you really gotta rest for that to happen. And then the next card I drew was the Queen of Cups, and it's reversed. So this is emotional overwhelm or sensitivity. Yeah, you may have difficulty trusting your own intuition. Definitely a lot of emotional burnout and overgiving, feeling disconnected from self or others. And what this card is basically saying that you're pouring into others without anybody or yourself pouring back into your own cup. And it can make you feel a bit like lost in touch with like your emotional center, and you may feel unseen or unsupported. So what I'm getting is like emotional overextension. And then the last card we have is the 5 of Pentacles. So this one, if it was like this, it would represent hardship. But because it's reversed, it's suggesting that you may be coming out of that difficult period, that conflict that you're going through, and you're in a space to receive help and open to it. you're definitely rebuilding stability, and whether that's, oh, okay. Yeah, you're rebuilding stability emotionally, financially, or even relationally. So this is really good because it means that there's a turning point and you're currently moving out of that hardship. So essentially, there's nothing wrong with what's going on. You just really gotta rest so that you can pour into others. You seem like a very selfless person, and just remember that rest is really important. You can't give from an empty cup. You may heard of that saying before, but it's true. So I hope you get the TLC that you so much deserve because you deserve that same kind of love and energy that you give to others onto yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was for number 2.
This is for number 2. The other 3 that I'm waiting for a response from you guys, so you guys can check your emails, those who have reached out. Good thing there's only 4 of you guys who wanted a reading, so I didn't have to do a lottery. I would feel so bad.
I know.
But yeah. So number 2, I hope that reading was a bit insightful, hopefully validating. If it made no sense or did not connect with you whatsoever, just take it with a grain of salt. But yeah.
There you go. Okay, now Miss Elving, did I mention before that my guide is from Freya? I can't confirm that. I don't know if she's directly from Freya. I know that she practices the same magic that Freya was known to practice. So, yeah, I'm not sure if she comes directly from her. I know that she is on the older side, and that's really all the information I've gotten so far. Hopefully, one day I find out. That'd be kind of cool. But from what information I have right now, I can't say that she is from Freya. Yeah, honestly, the dreams thing, that was a big eye opener for me too, because I always had dreams and I always wondered like why certain people would show up in them. And after talking to all the different shamans that I've been around and getting that information even from you, they want you to feel safe when they're trying to give you information. So they're not going to show up in something that is going to make you doubt what you're seeing or what they're trying to give you. They're always going to try and show up as someone that you trust, someone that you feel safe in. The only thing I would say on top of that is that also sounds like some stuff demons would do. So,
But then the details will be wrong.
there you go. From what Liz is saying, the details are going to be wrong, and it's up to you to be able to decipher if it's wrong or right. So yeah, the dreams are definitely an interesting one. How about for you guys? How's your guys' journeys been, or are you thinking about starting your journey? Have you ever asked your guides for help assistance? Twice I've asked my guides for help looking for things I was struggling to find, and I would get a thought to look somewhere. I can't say I've ever asked for them to look for things in that way. The few times that I have asked them for help is usually when, like, I remember this one time I was driving and I saw the I didn't have a ring, but we could see when our garage door would open, and our garage door opened, and I know that Iris was going outside, and I knew that Liz was taking a nap, and she was perfectly fine in doing so. But for some reason that day, it just felt very uneasy for me, and that was the one time where I asked my main guy. I was like, "Do what you need to do to keep her safe," because it just felt very off that day, and when I saw the garage door close and her go inside, I was happy. So that's the one time I have asked for her help. Also, when I go into those situations where I'm like, I need to get out of this area, that's usually when I'm like, hey, let's let's make sure whatever's in the car doesn't stay in the car. When that person leaves, it leaves with them, and protect protect us from whatever is trying to get in as well until we can get out of this area. So I asked him for help in those types of situations. But the only time I've ever asked to find something was on the Ouija board, and it found it. So that was pretty wild. But yeah, that was a long time ago. We were like 16, I think, when we busted that bad boy out. You didn't tell your siblings that was going on. None of them are in here.
Yeah.
Who?
I think it's mine or Peter. I think. I could have sworn I saw their. We have like a group chat, and we always tell each other
We
when.
just put everyone on blast.
I wouldn't say put everyone on blast, but then our tribe, we love supporting each other just as much as how you guys support Scott and I. My little cohort, we really support each other, so they'll obviously try to show up to my live or my Sifu's live if it's possible.
Okay, Yang. So you're trying to soak up and learn about a variety of things spiritually. Definitely resonates with me, but I don't know how far along I need to take it. What are you trying to find out spiritually? Are there certain things that you're curious about or wanting to go down a path? And when you find it, what's going to prevent you or what's going to make you want to keep going? Out of curiosity, if you want to. What other stories do I have? I know the first time that I saw my main guide. Well, the first time I saw her, she was just a silhouette, which is during that meditation, guided meditation one. But the first time that I actually saw her like face and visually was during one of the meditations. I had a lot of water and it was pitch black where I was doing it, and that was the first time where I opened my eyes and I was like, why am I? Because even when it's dark, I close my eyes because I'm like, what's the point of having them open? But for some reason, they were like, open your eyes. And when I opened it, I saw her face and her eyes were there and they were glowing red. And I was like, and it didn't scare me. It was more of like comfort. Like, I'm finally meeting this person that I've been talking to, and it just felt very safe. And then it went away. And I was like, that was wild. So it's like little things like that just pop up. You're curious about everything, even going down the UFO rabbit hole. Dude, there's nothing wrong with going down the UFO rabbit hole. I love me some conspiracy theories.
Okay, you guys talk about conspiracy. Sorry, it's not getting out of it. I have my tinfoil hat on the whole dolphin thing.
Yeah, Liz is obsessed with Gerald.
I believe there is a Gerald out there. Just putting it out there. Anyways, okay. I'm gonna go back to focusing now.
Juliana is saying, I feel like I'm at crossroads. My paths I have been on are fading away involuntarily. I've mostly completed my healing journey, but what's coming isn't here yet. That is a hard one. And I will say there has been times where I'm like, I do start to doubt what I'm going through. And the thing that always brings me back is, do I want to believe it or not? Because I'm great at always finding a counteraction or like questioning things. But for some reason, this is the one thing where I didn't question. I just got information and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna believe this one. And I've just been going at it. Obviously, the thoughts of doubt do creep up here and there, but I try to silence them when they do show up because why not? What if I go down this path and people say that it's not real or people doubt it? It doesn't matter to me because it's my path. They can go down their path, and that's okay. It's just finding what you're comfortable being comfortable with. If that made any sense. Yeah, no problem, Vivian. Okay. Hey Scott, how do you trust in your guides? Like the doubts, if it's true or real, how was the process of building trust in the guides for you? Ooh. So this one is an interesting one, right? Because you always have, at least for me, right? I've always heard people asking for things in their time of need. And I grew up in a Christian household. And that was one of the things that always drove me nuts about my family or about people that I knew was they would say they're Christian, but they really wouldn't do anything until something tragic happened. And then next thing you know, they're doing everything they can to ask for help. And that's where it comes from me, right? If something bad is happening or is going to happen, I can ask my guides, but if it's meant to happen, it's going to happen, right? And that's kind of where the killing of animals in shamanism went for me is this life had a purpose and it was sent here and this is what it was meant to do. And when it dies, it's going to be reincarnated into whatever it's supposed to do after this. So if someone's meant to die, they're going to die. If someone's meant to get hurt, they're going to get hurt. And what is the meaning of what's happening? And my guides can't change that, right? Like they might be able to inform me what's going to happen, but even if they tell me it's still going to happen, unless you get into that dark magic where I've heard of the stories where people are like, I don't want my mom to die or my child to die. How can we extend their life? And then you hear of people giving away their time. I'm going to give 10 years away. But it could also go to you giving other people's lives, like lifelines away just to save someone else's. So it's like a big mess that I've heard. And then when it comes to trusting our guys, it's the theme of everything I've been saying is, do you want to trust them or do you want to doubt them? Because if you can doubt them all day, and you can doubt everything they're doing or showing you, or why it's taking them so long to communicate with you, or why it's taking them so long to show up or give you guidance. But what if they are giving you guidance and you're just not seeing it the way that they know how to show it to you, or you're not ready to hear what they're trying to tell you? So that's where the trust for me comes in, was me letting go of all those thoughts that it needed to be a certain way and allowing it to happen the way she wanted to give you the information. And by the way, I'm awful at looking at the camera. I'm like reading the tablet over here that has the questions. And then I just look up and the camera's over here and I'm not looking at it. So my bad. And to the second part of your question, how was the process of building trust in your guides for you? Is just allowing the information to come through and trying to understand why it's coming through. Like, why did you give me that image? What does that image mean? What are you trying to get from, like, what are you trying to tell me from that image? Or what are you trying to tell me from that thought or feeling? And just try to be more curious about what it is instead of trying to doubt what it is. So I guess it would just be curiosity. Have more curiosity when you're talking with them. D. Yang said, anything is possible to your Gerald thing, by the way. I saw that one pop up earlier.
No, that's kind of terrifying.
What is your biggest advice for those who are new rising shamans? What would you do differently? And hardest obstacles for you on this journey? Are you guys doing tarot readings? We are doing tarot readings, but the deadline was at 6:30. We already have the 4 that we're going to do. I think we're going to do this every live, right? Yeah. So yeah, every month we're going to go live if we're going to do tarot reading. So during the next one, we're going to do the same as we did today. Send out a message in the morning. You just email us in. We'll do 4, and if more than 4 people request, we'll do a lottery and just spin a wheel and see who gets the readings. But if at any time you do want a reading, we do have it on our website. Liz does do them. It's more of an in-depth reading than the ones that we do on here. But if you're interested in that, it is definitely out there. If you want more information, just let us know. And I'm going to get to your advice when Liz is done with her reading, because that one is definitely, I can give some advice into it, but I think it would be good for her to give some advice as well. Georgia, right now I know of 2. I know I have more than 2. I just don't know who, what, where, what they look like, who they are. I have no idea about any of them. I just know that they're there. Hopefully they get bridged to me eventually. But for the guides that I do have, I have my main guide, which is a woman, and I do have a big white wolf, which is a wolf. And it's pretty cool. And those are the only 2 that I know of right now that I can give you any sort of information or details about. Which leads me to, there was a lot of questions just amongst us whether I was going to have conversations with Tassie, because when Liz was rising and we did our shy eyes, that's when I found out that my higher self was a dragon, was one of the Norse dragons. And that made me curious as to know, like, because if you guys don't know, Tassie's higher self is the god of dragons. Mm-hmm. Yeah, is the god of dragons. So that made the curiosity to me, where it was like, would she be able to raise me? Because we are similar in that way that we're both dragons. So I asked her, and she didn't say yes, but she didn't say no. And then she's been hinting that it might be a possibility. So I've been going around. I know my guides want to teach me, and they are going to be the ones that teach me, because if Tassie raises me, she's not teaching me what to do in the spirit realm. She's just there as a mentor and protector while I go through that. So
I do plan on doing a shake test when Liz does go to her third shrine because I can't do it prior to that, and we have talked about this with um, amongst ourselves and the Tassie, and it is a possibility. So we'll see how that goes. I have no idea what that's going to be like, but I am planning on doing a shake test with her sometime either at the end of this year or beginning of next year. You ready?
Yes. Can you light another incense?
Yeah.
No. How about
Oh, sure, that's okay. Right.
I just need you to stick it. Don't burn yourself, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, when you're done.
Yeah.
So that's readings for number one. So the first card let me give you guys a bit of context for the reading for number one. Number one wanted to know how come they can't seem to get their driver's license, and they were wondering what steps they should do to support them in getting their driver's license. So the first card that I drew is the Emperor card. Oh man. Bear with me, you guys. Bear with me. Okay, cool. So this card right here, this is about structure, discipline, system, rules. So literally what I'm getting is that number one needs structure and a plan and not just like intention. Um, this can really point to like maybe not having a consistent study or practice routine. You need a step-by-step plan instead of approaching like really vaguely and loosely. There could possibly be some anxiety around like authority, like test evaluators, the DMV environment. Lord knows I am a horrible test taker, so I totally feel you. But you can succeed through structure and not just on motivation alone. And then Five of Pentacles was also drawn. So this card right here, it shows like an emotional block, and it can represent maybe number one feels behind compared to their peers. There may be financial stress, maybe car access, or there's a bit of financial issue with fees or lessons. There could be low confidence with driving, like maybe I can't do this kind of mindset. And then maybe they're also feeling unsupported by family members or they feel alone in the process. So it's really important that you are aware that carrying shame about not having your license yet and avoid the process of getting your driver's license because it reinforces that feeling of having shame for not having your driver's license. So basically, it's not just like the logistics, but there's like a self worth or support wound as well. And then this lovely card has come up again. Four of Swords. So this shows your current state, number one. You feel mentally overwhelmed. There's avoidance. They're like rest or withdrawal. And you may need to reset before trying again. So you may be procrastinating because maybe the taking the test is overwhelming because it's heavy, and maybe there's a bit of mental drain when you think about it too. and maybe telling yourself you'll get it later or something like that. But you first have to really calm down your nervous system first, and then you can try again. But you shouldn't just keep ramming it and trying and trying and trying and hoping that maybe this will be it. So what the cards are saying is that you need structure, number one, and you may feel a bit behind and you may be really avoiding it, just mentally checking out. But some steps you should take as advised by spirits is to create a clear structure that will help you. So maybe it's specific timeline of like doing a written test, like studying for that, having your schedule permits like at different dates, and practicing driving X amount of times a week. Um, it's really helpful also if you have like that support, someone who you feel safe with, who can teach you how to drive. And then, yeah. And then let's not forget that it's okay to not have your driver's license. I really want to normalize that you're not behind and you're just on a different timeline. And then the Four of Swords, yeah, this card is like you have a lot of anxiety around the testing or the driving, but definitely start small, even if it's just sitting in the driver's seat. And then also giving yourself permission not to rush, but also not to avoid either. So the underlying message for you, number one, is try to introduce a bit more of a structure rather than just trying to go, 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 and then fingers crossing it. And I hope this reading was validating or gave you a bit of clarity. And as I told the other person, if this was just not it, just take it with a grain of salt. Okay. But I believe in you. You got this. Don't be so hard on yourself.
It's true. That's always the hardest part is we are our own worst enemies.
Mm-hmm. I failed my permits test like 3 times.
I almost failed mine before we even started driving. I didn't know I had to know where all the buttons went.
Okay.
I showed up thinking I was gonna drive, and they were like, "So how do you turn your flashes on?" Those.
That's funny.
All right, there's some funny ass comments. That one get to. They said North. I'm gonna skip because that one was hella funny. Vingac says images of North Dragons range from toothless to smog.
Ain't that the truth?
Oh shit. That was hella funny. Okay.
I'd rather be the toothless one.
Okay. Question for you before you go anywhere and before I forget.
What?
I don't know how to say her name. She's
Okay, Shortly. Shortly says, what is your biggest advice for those who are newly rising shamans? What would you do differently and hardest obstacles for you in this journey? Are you guys doing tarot readings? Oh, okay. I think I recall you saying you respond to that latter question. Right, hun? You told her that we are doing tarot. Anyway.
But yeah, I did tell her that, and I told her that the deadline already passed. But next time we do it live,
Yes.
she's more than welcome to send an email.
Okay, so my biggest advice to those who are newly rising shamans is one, to definitely have a trusted person to share your experience with, someone like a confidant. If you don't have one, I recommend that you journal, or you're able to um, put whatever it is that you're experiencing, feeling internally onto something of this physical plane of existence, so that you're not holding it all in, because it can be a lot. It can. So whether that's through art, writing, um, crafting, talking with a trusted person, or even just talking to yourself, I highly recommend that you don't keep that all just internal. And then also, just, I know this is gonna sound really hard because it's easier said than done, but really know yourself and know what you want. Why are you pursuing your shamanic raising? Like, why? I find that that is really important to know, because to me, I feel like when I started my journey, everything inside, it gets amplified. Whether that's like, um, let's just say, if you haven't healed or accepted the the darker parts that you're trying to hide of yourself, that is going to get amplified, and whatever is in your cup is going to spill out in a huge big wave, and not the little cute splash that maybe you're trying to hide. So really, like, take the time to look at all the things that keeps you up at night. It could be relationships, it could be there's so many things, but just things that keeps you up, right? In that essence, and just kind of explore it from like a third person perspective, not in you in your current shoe, but as like a third party person. Because I think my Sifu said this a lot: divine timing, and random weird things happen when you start your journey. Again, like I always say it, I never thought I would have I would reignite relationships with people in my current life right now, and it just kind of happened through a different lens.
That's true. And the one thing I would say, just coming from what we've been through, and I know it's not the same for everyone, but us being able to find that community that we had.
Because when we first went and did the shake test and we started, no one knew about it except for us.
We were the only ones that started.
And then once the raising started, people started getting invited to the raisings, and we started to meet other people that were on this journey. And it definitely made the journey
More pleasant to go through. Like it would have been fine on our own, but
just having that community around to where if you do have questions or you do have thoughts or something happened and you're able to reach out not only to your Sifu but to your community as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nice having that sounding board sometimes. So definitely try to find that community regardless of where you are, or if it's online through what we are doing, or if you have a community around you that you can start as well. Liz always talks about her little cohort of
No, yeah.
shamans that are all rose around the same time, and it helps.
I get it when you don't feel comfortable not wanting to share what you're experiencing, especially when other people may put forth like shame about sharing something that you're experiencing. And it can hurt and it can be very embarrassing and it can make you feel crazy and not normal. And make you wonder like why am I like this?
Yeah.
But I promise you n- not everyone is like that. And I personally believe to my core that you're not meant to walk on your path alone. There are people who are supposed to be there to support you, whether that's giving you a lesson that you're meant to learn or giving you something that you deserve and that you need. So I just really, I really hope that to those of you who need to hear this, that you have a clear slate to welcome in what you're meant to receive. You can't receive if there's still a bunch of things that you need to get rid of.
It's true. It's true.
There was 2 more questions for Shwafli, and what would I do differently?
That's a good question.
What would I do differently? I think I would do anything differently, to be honest, because it led me to be exactly where I'm at, and
We would have done it sooner.
no, I don't think I would have done this sooner.
No, I mean,
No.
as your Stephen said, it's divine time.
Yeah. And then the hardest obstacle for me in this journey, it was really having the courage to follow what my spirit guides are trying to encourage me to go do. Oh my god. Yeah. Having that courage.
That's good. Can you respond to one more question?
Yeah. You're doing such a great job as a moderator, by the way.
Thank you. That one.
What the hell? From Vivian.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't doubt my guides because they're really because they've really shown up and good. I do notice that not all the ones around me are good, and that's really difficult. It's hard to decipher.
And then she put at the bottom to add to my comment, it's also been kind of dangerous for me in a sense. I recently got into a car accident because of it.
So I figured you'd be better at responding to that one. And then I'll get to all the funny dragon ones.
Okay, so what's the question?
I guess just a response, like, do you have anything, like any information on how to decipher from the good and the bad and how to not?
It can be really tricky, but I like to say that your emotions, that is your compass. And whenever I get any kind of direction or guidance from my guides, I always listen to how that makes me feel and what that action or behavior would do to another person or how I would respond to it. And I sit with that. And if it feels good to me, if I feel happy and joy in doing it, then I'm going to proceed with it. But if I kind of have like hesitation or afterthoughts and really just that hesitation, maybe think twice about listening to it. Okay, because to me, I feel like spirit guides, they're like your counselors, right? They advise you and try to encourage you to do things a certain way. But you, as the core spirits in this fucking body, you're the one who gets to decide what you do, what you listen to. And so I recommend you doing a shy guy or a shining. If you have access to a shaman to look into that for you, My guides, they are telling me that you need to cleanse your guides, but I mean, I don't know where you are on your spiritual path. They're showing me like a cute little egg that just hatched out of an egg. So, but then, yeah,
Liz raises in July.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. And I'm so sorry you got into a car accident. I hope you're okay.
Yeah, that's awful. Okay, now, one last thing. Ving X says do a shake test with Liz when she gets to her third shrine. And everyone said that it's a great idea. So
You guys do not.
encouragement
You
has
don't
been
know when I'm
added.
going to my third shrine.
I'll do it. I might even record it and show you guys what a
What?
shake test is like if Liz lets me.
You can, but you'll have to do an overlay. Like you'll have to take out the noise.
The noise. Okay. So I might even do that. So yeah. Good. Yeah, you go ahead. I'm about to get to all the dragon ones.
I can't with
What?
You're so cute. Okay.
Alright, what color dragon are you? So from what I've heard and have seen, I am a black dragon. But my scales are they're like very glossy. They have like this green tint to them, right?
Yeah.
Liz has seen me more than I've seen me. So. All the information I got.
You know, like those snakes, like the black mamba, and how it's super glossy and beautiful. The scales on Scott's higher self, his dragon scales, it's very glossy like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely a black dragon. I did not know that there's a Celtic shaman, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was Celtic at first, but I'm not. But it'd still be cool. From the old Germanic part, which I thought was very fascinating, because I really thought I was gonna be from the Celtic area, but I'm not. I'm from ancient Germanic part. But I'm gonna look into it. That's really cool that he's just down the street. It's definitely more of the Western European style of dragon. I'll try and put a picture of it up when the live's over. I'll post a picture somewhere. Make a post. Okay.
You should have. You won't like it.
Oh,
You should.
okay. I won't do it because Liz is saying my higher self won't like that. So, black Western dragon. Nothing's telling me I shouldn't talk about this, so I want to talk about it. Tassie did say when she went and saw me that the area that I was in, she used those exact words that they said, because they asked me, or no, someone said that looking at.
Okay.
What is that?
Nothing. I'm just doing the reading.
Oh. That you said, by the way, Norse dragons look hella scary. 5 seconds in to Google Images is too long. When Tassie went to see myself for the first time, she said that the area that I was in was hella scary. She said it was very uncomfortable being there. And yeah, I think that's all I can share, because nothing else is coming out freely. I'm usually pretty open with what I feel like I can share, but she did say it was very, very
intimidating her. You started, Juliana started interacting with dragons in 2021. I thought it was gonna die. It was intense in the first encounter.
Oh my god, poor Juliana.
Maybe we all have dragons around us. That's what we're here, or that's why we're here.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, I think, okay, sorry if this is a repeat story, deja vu, but I love dragons so much. I was in such disbelief that there was no real dragons in this wicked world as like a sixth grader. I was literally surfing through the internet trying to find anything about dragons. And the closest thing was a Komodo dragon. But
I was really into Komodo dragons too when I was younger. I was, because it had dragon.
But in Hmong culture, a lot of the elders, they are afraid of dragons. And so my grandma, when she was still alive, she was like very alarmed that I was so obsessed and fascinated by dragons. And so she like secretly snitched on me to my mom and dad to like watch out for that one. Okay.
And one of us here isn't even a dragon.
I'm gonna give you the Nikki answer.
Yeah, you're just gonna ignore what I just said. That's fine. Yes, having a shake test and confirming someone to be a teacher is two separate things. Yes, I definitely know that. I'm just intrigued to see where it goes. And if she is, why not? Maybe she can bridge me to more of my guys. That's kind of cool. I'll keep y'all updated. And yes, North dragons do range from toothless to smog. I'll give you that. Whether Liz might be Scott's teacher. I heard one of Tassie's videos that it is possible for someone who hasn't completely risen to be someone's teacher. Yeah, I believe Tassie just talked about that in her past live because there was a lot of people. What's it called? Jenning.
Oh, dreading.
Yeah. That when they do that, they have to give a list of names, and she was saying that you can't give a list of names of people that aren't fully risen yet, and they might be your teachers. So when they do rise, you know when they do get to their third level, you know that you can reach out to them. So I know that she did talk about that in her last live, which was like 3-4 days ago, something like that. Sadly, he doesn't look like Toothless. As much as everyone wants him to look like Toothless,
I wish.
from all the information I've gotten, Toothless is not what he looks like. And he doesn't look like Raya. And I don't believe he has hair. And Anna's upset that you didn't tell her that she's going live. And I snitched on you because she sent me a text asking about Jade, and I was like, Liz is live.
Anna.
So.
I posted about like wait, hold on. You've watched the last video of last week. We said we were gonna go live. Remember, Mary? I think we should just post it on our group so that we don't get lit later.
Vivian said, I consider you Liz and Scott's biggest supporter, even though I felt jealous about it at one point. But you were willing to call off work to be on their live. So much love for them.
No.
Well, we appreciate
You guys
both
are
of you.
you guys are so special to us.
Hey, Kathy, I agree. I'll put it on me. I forgot to send the text message out. So I'm sorry. But we seem like we're going to be here for a while. Liz still has 2 more weeks.
Yeah, I'm working on the third one. And Theo's napping, so a little bit extra time.
For Vivian, if you do want to see Liz, she is going to be raising again in July, so she should be able to see people either at the end of July or early August. If you do want an in-person one, we do have some that are in the Sacramento area and Stockton. So if you are interested in going to one of those areas for a live reading, let us know and we can have them reach out to you as well. And I mean that goes for anyone. If anyone's interested in live readings in the Northern California, Sacramento, Stockton area, let us know and we'll get you in touch. Vivian is laughing at the egg that hatched out of an egg. So she's still an egg. Hi, my Kathy's here. Both of them made it.
Hi.
We're still laughing at toothless jokes, which is great. Okay. Vanx is saying most likely one of your guys took the impact from the car accident that happened to me and what it was done to recall her spirit. That's true. That's true. God knows my God is taking hella hits from me. She made it very clear. Is it? I'm not gonna lie, the Innocent Smoke has been super aggressive today. I keep seeing it on the camera. Drumming the soul awake is a filter shot. Okay. I'm gonna take note of that. And Chassie, okay, Vingx says in Chassie's recent live, she mentioned that normal people don't have intrusive thoughts. Those are the spirits that need to be filtered. I've heard that quite a bit. I didn't watch all of her live because I was working that day, and I haven't gone back to watch it, but I have heard that too, where the intrusive thoughts are either spirit guide trying to give you that negative advice or something else trying to encourage your thoughts. Ooh, see? Vivian said first word that came to mind about the black dragon is protective. And then I saw a sheen that made me think of black opals from a book. And Anna's here now. If she's still here, you can ask her all about her shy eye to go and see my higher self.
Okay. Are you okay if I do a reading for number 7?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so this reading's for number 7. And these numbers are just randomized. So number 7, they wanted to know about their future career and what it would entail because they want to be happy and successful in what they pursue next. So the first card that I drew was the Three of Cups. And it's reverse them. Let me just make sure it is. No, too far that way. Douglas. I wish there wasn't a delay. Come on.
It's like 10-second delay.
Damn. Sorry guys, bear with me. Ooh.
The hell?
I don't know. I'll let you know.
in 10 seconds.
Yeah. Yes, it did. Okay. So this Three of Cups right here, this points to social and environmental influence for our number 7. So because this is reversed, it can mean that you may be feeling out of alignment with the current circles, like the circles that you're with, and you're comparing yourself to others with their path. There's a ton of external noises influencing your decision, and there may be a lack of genuine support or collaboration with you. So for this card being drawn and being reversed, you may be trying to figure out what others are doing and what seems successful socially and what's expected out of you. But your next step, it's not going to come from those around you. It's going to come from stepping away from that comparing and outside pressure. Like, is it too close?
No, I think it's just trying to pick up on us instead of the.
Oh,
Because when I had it up there, see, it worked.
oh, okay.
I'll just hold it on that side.
And then here I have the Page of Cups. Well, let me see if it'll do it without
No, okay.
Come on.
Nope. I have to block my face too.
Oh. That worked earlier, right?
Yeah, it's because I'm blocking my face now, so it'll focus on it.
Okay. So Page of Cups. This is for like creativity, curiosity, emotional fulfillment, and then new beginnings that feel meaningful. So this card right here strongly suggests that your future career may involve in creativity or self-expression, helping, connecting, or working with people and maybe emotions. Sounds like the next new generation of therapists. And then something that feels personally meaningful to you and not just practical. So what I'm getting is just follow what genuinely really just interests you and excites you, even if it feels a bit small and a bit vague or uncertain. And then the last card that I drew for you, number 7, was Temperance, and this is reverse. And this is showing maybe current challenges. You may be feeling rushed or pressured to figure it out. Definitely imbalance. I'm feeling like I see a scale, and there's too many ideas, and it's like going back and forth. Definitely trying not to force clarity. Instead, just let it go and develop. I'm also feeling like you may have the urgency to get it right too, and maybe you might be feeling like a struggle with trying to blend like maybe passion with being practical about your job. And I get it. This day and age, like there is not enough money to survive in California. I don't know where you're from, but yeah. So from what I'm gathering is that there's a lot of external influences, whether that's expectation or just people around you that are making sense with what is going on with them, and you're trying to take what you can of that. But what spirits are saying is to basically don't look at other people and their path. To really just quiet those noise and focus on yourself and really try to go after what makes you happy. Even if that is a bit unconventional, definitely do not rush and overthink it. Because this card was showing like there was a lot of back and forth, and that can make you feel maybe a bit stir crazy. But you know, It's interesting. This Page of Cups. It's like really artistic. There's like communication, healing. Maybe you might be a nurse. Anna's a nurse.
Anna's nursing right now. She's not in the chat.
This girl. Oh, yeah. What I'm gathering is that your career may not be the traditional career that your family members or friends are used to, like that traditional 9 to 5 type of job. But honestly, you only have one life, and it's okay to explore. You feel young.
I agree.
So I really recommend that don't be afraid of making mistakes. Like this is a time where you can make mistakes and just learn from it and go from it. Like you have that flexibility, that youthful energy. So yeah. I hope this provided you, number 7, some clarity or validation. And if the reading was totally off, I'm so sorry, and just take it with a little grain of salt.
Mai has a question for you.
Okay.
Mai's asking, let me find it. If someone has an attachment, how do you know if it's your guides or if it's the entity asking you or advising you? Sorry.
It kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, where, okay, so when I first got my shamanic bench, we call it Lutomina, which is basically a bench where the Hmong shaman, they sit on it, and that's how they some of them, they sit on the bench, sometimes they stand, whatever. But usually, Hmong shaman, they have a bench. And so that is very expensive. It's like a big commitment piece anyway. So I was super excited to go pick up my tonenga. And when we came home, I had this flash of thought where like I wanted to break my bench. And I was like, well, that's a really weird intrusive thought. Like, why the hell would I have that? And it was my attachment. They weren't happy that I was going on my shaman journey. And I know it's easier said than done, but honestly, it really ties into what does that mean to you? Right? Like you were just happy about whatever event or whatever's happening. And all of a sudden you're receiving this like unhappy, maybe negative thought about whatever's happening. The word that keeps coming to me is normal. What's normal for you?
Yeah.
Because your guides, they are in essence, and this is my belief in teaching from my Sifu, your guides, they are an extended version of you, and you know yourself best.
It's true. Thing X is we need to start putting fictional character names into the mix.
Wait, what?
When you're instead of number 7,
Oh.
start giving out names.
Mm.
At least that's what I'm assuming she meant by that. That's what I took from it. Okay, let's see. Question.
Yeah. Maybe next time I'll tell like number 4, you're gonna be Deborah. And then number 4, you're
No,
gonna
they
be
have to be
Josh.
funny names in there.
Okay, how about number 5? You're gonna be Starlight. I already sound like stripper names.
I'm gonna start giving out stripper names.
Okay, let's not.
Okay. Fictional names to shamans. Oh, she redacted it. Retracted.
Oh.
Anyways, okay, where was I?
Okay.
Oh, Vivian says I still want to see Liz. I'm asking the universe. Smiley face. I can't see point A to point B.
And then she still says outside of spiritual lens, I will say work in therapy has really helped redirect intrusive thoughts.
They're not bad, you guys. Intrusive thoughts. But like not to get too therapy on you guys, but treat intrusive thought like you're in a subway system. You see it come. You can decide if you want to get on that train, or you can just watch it go by. It's that simple. Your intrusive thoughts does not define who you are.
It's just a thought. And you can either get, like you said, you either get on the train or you get off the train.
Okay, I'm taking off my therapy hat now.
Miss Elving says that your deck's pretty cool.
No, thank you.
Is that one of your first ones you bought?
Yep.
Hey Liz, when you open your shrine again, or you get to your 3rd level, will you offer Shy Eye services? That came from Want to Be a Highlander.
Yes. I will be following suit just like how my seafood has her services.
Yes, so sometime in July, after she re-raises, we should be offering services to the community.
But you know, you guys, it may be a while because I know some questions that you guys have may be very like now. So maybe reach out to other local shamans. I have other shamanic siblings as well who are on their journey, and they give really good readings. Very helpful, very insightful, and very accurate. If you cannot wait until I raise in July.
This is a good question. Can attachments affect another shaman from reading you properly?
Yes.
Yes.
Because it's so layered. It depends on what kind of attachment it is, and it depends on how strong that attachment is, and it depends on if that shaman has the ability to be able to even see that attachment and see what's going on. Because yes, short answer is yes.
Yes. Oh, Vangex was saying fictional names define your shaman teacher. So I, from what I'm guessing, or from what I'm gathering, you're saying, can you give fictional names when you're trying to, what was it, Tina?
Janae.
Janae?
Joe.
Janae?
Janae.
Remember all those months ago where we were like, we're gonna learn?
Yeah.
Big Mom never went back and did it again.
Well, maybe we should start.
Yeah, maybe we should.
That's a great idea. Otherwise, I'm going to make you flashcards and you're going to have to wear it on your, like a necklace.
I'm making it to the bottom. I'm happy. Okay, Vivian said, thank you for your response as to tell the difference between the story of your bench. As soon as you started talking, I felt and heard deeply. Pay attention. It honed in on my attention. Not.
That's good.
Yeah. Is the only way to identify an attachment through a Shia?
If you're trying to get something done about it, I mean, you can try to self-diagnose that, but I mean, okay, some people don't care that they have attachments. They don't. But I mean, if you want to do something about it, if you don't want to take care of that attachment yourself, whether that's through limited knowledge or limited belief, I highly recommend that you seek out someone that you trust who has those abilities and knowledge to help you.
All right.
right, and the last question for you, before you do your last one, is
I know it's not right to provide a reading when you meet people. How are you handling not spilling the beans? I think sometimes people just don't know they have an attachment. That's a different problem, but same person. Miss Helping.
For me, I just kind of check in with that person, especially if they're like someone close to me. Close as in like not like my children or like my best friend, but someone who I know. I will casually ask them how they are doing in X and how they're feeling, kind of like beating around the bush, just to kind of open that conversation and then go from there.
And to Miss Elving, I agree with you. I think sometimes people just don't know that they have an attachment, don't know how to ask. I have fought with Liz over this many times where I'm like, if people don't know what or how to ask, and Liz always says,
What do I say, babe?
You usually always say that if they genuinely want to know and are curious, they're gonna ask your guides for help or ask guides, shamans for help.
Yeah. Because like I told you guys, a lot of people, they don't care that they have attachments. They don't.
and it's like, what are people going to do with that information? If you walked up to someone and just told them, hey, you probably have an attachment, how are they going to respond to that? Is it going to be negative? Is it going to be positive? Are they going to care? Are they going to not care? And are you wasting, in a sense, your spirit guide's energy and time
Yeah, it could be
giving that information out?
it could be a huge disservice to your spirit guides, and that in itself can make them become upset because you're using your guides.
Bang X says, if you see something on me, say something.
I'm gonna go back to this.
Do it.
Okay. My number 8. Let's do this. Okay.
I agree with you, Vivian. You said therapy work really helped you with your perceptions, especially when you first started. It also helps that you found a therapist that you can trust enough to want to make those changes, because I've seen clients before that were referred by the courts to come see me, and it doesn't matter what advice or what not really advice, but it doesn't matter how much you wanted to help them, they weren't there for the right reasons. They didn't want to be there, so they weren't going to make any changes. But therapy really revolves around the person wanting to make the changes and wanting to be open enough to receive the help and the thoughts. And I'm glad that you found a therapist that you're comfortable with enough to where you want to break down those changes.
This tarot reading is not doing my guides any justice. They are like pushing. It's like trying. It's like showing up to a house with like a bazooka when it only requires like maybe a handgun or maybe even a bat. This energy, I hate it. One second. They're like whatever. So happy spending time with you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying like hanging out with us too.
Yeah, it's been fun. We enjoy doing these lives. Sorry if it's going longer than expected. Okay, next time we'll try and give out different names of them. So someone said we should give out plant names or crystal names.
Oh, that'd be so cute. Okay, I'm down. with
Liz is
that.
down.
Okay.
Vivian, what are you more reserved with? Therapy?
Okay.
Vivian, why are you that's a great question. If you want to ask me, I'll ask you if answer. But you made when you first started, you said you really shook and broke chains, so it seems like you were making progress in the beginning. And at some point, did the therapeutic alliance break down? Did you start to not trust your therapist, or where was that breakdown for you? 'Cause I'm genuinely curious about that as well.
Oh my gosh. Number 8. You really need a shine that done. Or shine me.
We've eliminated the stripper names and we're going with rocks and plants.
Oh my god.
All right, maybe we'll throw in a stripper name here and there. So, we like those also.
Oh, okay. Maybe we should put a poll of like what the name should be of the
No,
fort.
there's no poll. We're just gonna throw out random names.
Okay, then you're in charge of the names.
I'm gonna chat GPT stripper names at the beginning.
Oh, do not. Please do not.
Okay. I didn't see that part already. No. Yeah. I'll say with therapy, it truly is finding the person that you can connect with. Because if you can connect with the therapist that you're working with, you're going to make the most successful work coming out of it. And that's the other thing is if you ever feel like you are stuck or you're not making progress and you feel comfortable enough telling the therapist what you're feeling and they can readjust and it goes back to something, that's cool. If not, be okay with moving on as well. Like, don't waste your time and your money going to see someone just because of not wanting to leave or separate. Like, I did that myself, not gonna lie, where I felt like I was stuck with a therapist before I even started my therapeutic journey. And I just kept going because I was like, well, what are my other options? But there's always going to be other options out there. And find the person that resonates with you. And you'll definitely see an increase in you wanting to make the changes that you're wanting to make. It's understandable. It's okay. definitely a very hard thing to work through. What made us? I'll talk to what made me want to go and being a therapist. Um, I had PTSD from Afghanistan from when we were in the military, and when I went to seek mental health care, all they wanted to do was give me medications, and I took them for like a week or two, and it completely changed my mood, the way I felt. I just felt more of like a zombie, like a shell of myself. And I was like, this shouldn't be all that it is. So I stopped and going to therapy. I was like, no, I can just deal with this on my own, and I don't need the medications because it didn't feel like it really helped me. So that went on for a while, and I was still struggling. Like years went by, and I was still struggling with the same things that I was struggling with in the past. So I had the post 9/11 GI Bill for school, right? And I decided to go get my bachelor's in psychology in hopes that I might learn about myself to where I can help myself through those issues. And as I'm going through it, I graduated, learned a little bit, and then that's when I decided, like, why don't I keep going? Obviously, there's probably gonna be more people like me that didn't get the help that would have been helpful, and I know that that bothered me. So why don't I continue so I can help people in that way? So now I'm in the field and hopefully providing the more holistic approach instead of people coming in and just putting them on Atarax or mini press or Zoloft and trying to just help talk them through what they're going through. Because once you get to the bottom of what you're going through, the anxiety and the depression can start to go away because you've acknowledged and you've worked through that instead of um, just existing. So that's what got me into this field. Are you ready?
I
Okay.
was just like,
No, you're
no,
good.
no rush.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
And I'll read through these and get back to it.
Okay. So my last but not the latest, least at all, number 8. So
You have to give them a different name. Just kidding.
no, next one, next live. I actually drew 4 cards for you. I did not. Spirits work mysteriously, but anyways, I only intended to draw 3, but then there was a message that really wanted to come out. But anyways, so the first card that I drew for number 8, who wanted to know about their spiritual path, and they feel a bit like they don't know which way to go. And so the first card is this lovely. Okay. So, Ace of Swords. Can you see?
I'm back.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay. How long is the delay?
Just start talking.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll just yeah. Okay, so number 8, the first card is Ace of Swords. So this card is known with like truth, breakthrough, awakening, new perspective. So what Spirits is saying in this moment, you are having clarity and awakening, and something has already made sense to you, and you have that realization or that like inner knowledge already. And this isn't something that you need to search for. It's something you obviously already know and you felt. So what I'm getting from this card, the Ace of Sword, is that the truth has already come through to you, and you're already aware of it. Well, whether you may or may not be aware of it, the truth has already been delivered to you. And then followed by the second card, Seven of Cups, which is reversed. This is like focus, reality check, and letting go of illusion. So this just basically confirms the Ace of Swords that you're coming out of confusion, like that mental fog, that overwhelm, and too many options. I see a bunch of marbles. They're like rolling all over the floor, but they're starting to like be polarized into one specific area. And so what I'm getting is like maybe it's becoming more focused and grounded for you. So I don't think you're lost. I feel like you're narrowing, if that makes sense. And then Knight of Swords is the third card that was drawn. So this one's action, momentum, determination, directness, assertive, and it basically means shifting things into action. You're being told to move forward with confidence and act on your truth. And this is not the passive phase anymore. So I see like a tunnel of light and like a voice. So like maybe speaking truths or making decisions and moving confident and quickly with it. So definitely, yes, move with what you decide on, but then acting with intention and not being impulsive about it. Like it's a fine dance. And then this card that just really wanted to come out for you is the wheel. And this is destiny, fate, cycles, divine timing, and alignment. So to me, this is signifying that there's a turning point, maybe a shift in your life cycle, and there are divine timings at play for you. And number 8. And they are moving, whether you're hesitating or you're not. So this is part of your path, and it's meant to happen right now. So, 1 second. So what I'm gathering is that you've already received the clarity that you needed to, and maybe let go of those overthinking, like that. I see like a little hamster on a wheel. Maybe like step off of that, and the word that keeps coming up for me is committing. Committing to what you want to do, even if it feels uncomfortable. And just trusting in the universe. Divine timing. So I know it can feel confusing, but I see like a fog and light is breaking through and things are becoming more visible to you. And it can be daunting seeing that many paths, but what I'm gathering is that you already have that gut instinct of what you want to do, but maybe it feels uncomfortable. But yeah, spirits is telling me that you already know what you need to do. Hopefully that provided some sort of validation or clarity for you, my number 8. And if it didn't, I'm so sorry. Just take it with a grain of salt. Okay. Hopefully it was like a fun reading. But yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for all 4 of you and for participating and submitting your questions. And I really, really do hope they provided clarity and validation for what you're going through. And those of you who had reached out, I'm so sorry. I had a hard stop at 6:30. But definitely catch our next live. I will try to make it a point where we always do at least 4 readings because I really want to give back to you guys who are watching us and supporting us and giving us so many encouragement and advice. And I genuinely appreciate you guys so much and I love you guys so much because of that.
Absolutely. And if you don't want to wait for the next live, Liz does offer it as well if you want
Yeah.
to get tarot readings, or if you need that coaching, because I know a lot of people are talking about finding the right person.
Oh, the wellness.
Yeah, we do have a wellness support.
Yeah.
Once we do move out to Minnesota and you are in Minnesota, we will be offering therapy in that area because we will be licensed then or pre-licensed. But until then, we do have the wellness support if you are interested in taking that a little bit farther than just what communication you have on here or through emails. Anything else? I think we've hit everything.
Do you guys feel like 4 readings was too much? I felt like, okay, so last time, the first time we did the readings, I did 8 readings and I was totally like not.
Burned.
No, I mean, yeah, I did feel burnt too. But then I was just like not involved in the live whatsoever in the conversations at all.
Yeah, I feel like you were definitely more involved
Yeah.
this time than last time.
So
Did y'all
I-
feel that way?
I totally am fine if you guys just prefer me doing like the readings and you guys just chat with Scott. But
I think it's
I'm
important to
trying
get
to
you some
find-
information as well.
yeah, okay.
People like talking and hearing about your side.
Okay.
There's always so much information I can get.
But you're so philosophical. You're full of wisdom.
I just go off on tangents. My brain just keeps going, and then I'm like, man, have I said too much? They're asking, how do you feel after doing 4?
Oh,
Vivian's
how do I?
asking, how do you feel?
I feel fine. Yeah, I feel fine.
I feel like 4 was better than 8. Last time was crazy. We just went straight into it though. Because the first hour you were pretty much talking with everybody as well.
Yeah.
And getting everything set up with the emails. Well, cool. I think this is a good spot to end it then. What do you think?
Okay. Was there anything that people have questions about?
I think we've answered them all.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I missed any. If I did, we'll hang out for 5 minutes. If anyone has any last minute questions at 8:35, we'll answer whatever is left and then we'll head out.
What do you think of that?
Sounds good. I feel like we're professors.
I know. Y'all
It's
can leave if
ending.
you want.
We're here for extra questions. I can't wait for school to be over, you guys. I'm so sick
I
of
know. Shit. The 25th.
it.
It's almost here. Yeah, see, they like you doing the lives and the readings.
Oh, okay, good, good.
So it was a good mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, office hours.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
You get you can see us once a month.
Yeah, once a month. Feel free to email anytime.
Yeah, you can
but,
email anytime,
office
but
hours
you know,
only
office
once a month.
hours, first Wednesday of every month. That's cool. We appreciate you guys hanging out the entire time. I know this one's been long. This was like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I'm the TA. Liz is the teacher.
No, I'm not. What the heck?
She's going to be looking for a student soon. If anyone's interested,
Bruh.
you can throw her name out there in the Janine.
I can't wait for you.
Don't act like you don't.
I think that those who I am destined to be their Sifu,
Yeah.
divine timing.
I agree.
And plus, teachers, they don't go asking for students. They really don't.
No, that's why she never asked for it. I always say it.
This guy. I honestly just really wish that everyone can be whole and have their own clear thinking so that they can make the decision for themselves rather than being influenced by
Tessa came in for the last 2 minutes.
girl, get out of here. Get out of here. You late, Tassie. Late. Secrecy, no secrecy. I'm pretty sure you commented on our last video. We did say we were
We did
having.
say we were having it
Yeah.
this week.
Mm,
We know who watched to the end.
yeah.
All right, next time I'll make sure I send the text message out to the group chat.
Tassie said she did watch it to the end. Okay.
But I didn't know when this week you were going to be live.
Yeah.
Well, my bad.
Oh, you're so sweet, Seafood. Thank you. I honestly wasn't expecting the last video to be that emotional. And I am totally fine with it being like that, but I just didn't expect my reaction to come out like that when I was talking about communities and whatnot. But that just really shows how much of an impact community is for a shaman or a spiritual person going on their spiritual path.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It was I think that's one thing that we do try to do is we do try to always show both sides of it. The happy, sad, excited.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it does get uncomfortable sharing the more emotional sides of it. But we also really enjoy sharing that with everybody because it is part of the journey.
Yeah, it is.
It is definitely part of the journey. Honestly, everyone's just saying goodbye and wishing us the best. So,
Thank you.
yeah, we appreciate everyone for coming on and staying here for 2.5 hours, and some of us showing up for the last 2 minutes, but that's okay. We'll make sure to send as many texts as
I
we
hope
can.
you know you're seeing her like next week. Or next week. She's gonna give you so much flack for that.
I know. When's your next live, Tassie?
Stop. You're gonna make Tassie not want to come on our lives again. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining us. We had a blast hanging out with you guys, and I love going on live.
Yeah, lives are fun.
Less work for me.
And we don't have to edit.
Yeah.
We can just chill the whole time.
And I get to give
Hater.
back to what? And I get to give back to you guys who's been following us and just really getting to have a bit more of a chill environment.
I'm going to do an impromptu live while I'm sitting right next to you next time.
Oh my god.
Hey, don't tempt me with a good time.
Do it. Do it.
We can sit there for
I'm
2.5
sure
hours and
everyone
talk
will
about
be
random dragon shit.
Yeah, there were so many I kept hearing a lot of dragon things.
There's a lot of dragon things. We were talking about Toothless and
Oh.
all the different Nordic dragons that we could think of. It was fun.
Okay. I know we're supposed to be ending soon, but once on my spiritual journey and my random morning day, there's actually such a thing as cave dragons. And the one I encountered, it reminded me so much of Harry Potter. You know when Harry went to the vaults with Hermione to go look for a Horcrux, and there was this albino death dragon in there protecting I don't know if they were blind. I don't remember. But anyways, I encountered a very similar dragon like that, except it had like 2 heads. It was-
Oh, that's pretty cool.
yeah. And yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Side note.
So yeah.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a great night, and we will see you in a month for the live and next week in a video.
Yes.
All right, y'all take care.
And Scott's gonna go around.
Yeah, I was like, how do I end it?
He's gonna go around and press the X button. Bye.
Bam.